Hello, what's good, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well today, and welcome to the first episode of the Importance of Work Rates. Now, as I've said a lot of times in my videos that I've always wanted to do a work rate video explaining why I check work rates, and it's the most important stat for me. And a lot of you guys seem to want to see this. You guys thumbed up someone's comment a bunch of times, so I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all of the formations. So I'm going to start off with the 4-1-2-1-2 today, and this is the formation we're going to go over and what work rates I think are the most effective in a 4-1-2-1-2. So by all means, you guys can have your own team and it can be effective for you. This is the way I play. This is the way I've found most successful. So it is my advice to you. You don't have to agree with it. It is my opinion. So like I said, please don't hate me for any of the stuff I say. Please don't get angry at the stuff I say. This is all just how it works for me. You know, I've been successful with it. You guys have seen my staying in D1 series. I still have not got relegated to Division 2. I've won Division 1 God knows how many times, and the proof is in the videos. Obviously, I'm not lying to you guys. So I'm not here bragging saying I'm a good FIFA player. You know, I'm not here to do that. I'm just saying the teams that I've been able to play with, they've been successful for me, and that's how I can provide you guys with my feedback to hopefully help most of you guys out there who may be struggling or may be looking to make teams that are more effective. So over the course of the next few days or the next few weeks, we'll go over hopefully all of the formations that I am familiar with. As I said, I'm not going to touch any 5 at the back formations, so I'm going to go ahead and cover pretty much all of the 4 at the back formations and a couple of 3 at the back formations, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and start off with the 4-1-2-1-2 and what work rates I enjoy. Obviously, goalkeeper, we don't have to cover that. He's going to be in goal the whole game. But our 2 center backs, and this is tricky to explain because you've seen me sometimes use center backs with a high attacking work rate, and I've always been against that. But I've used Piqué along with Chiellini together. So I think sometimes it depends on your center back partnership. I think if you use both your center backs as a high attacking work rate, that's bad news. Now, my ideal work rate is a low attacking, high defensive. That's my ideal work rate because it protects you against the counter very well. Pace teams aren't as effective against that because your center backs play a further back line rather than push up. So really focus on your partnership. Now, don't pick 2 center backs with a high attacking work rate. The most I'll go is a medium attacking, but they have to have high defensive for me. That's really my go-to work rates. Now, if I do want to use a center back like Piqué because of his height, because of his strength, because he's a beast at winning tackles and getting the ball back for me, I go ahead and pair him up with someone who's pacey because Piqué only has about 62 pace, which is fine if he had the right work rates. But if he has work rates like he has now, if he pushes up, I want to make sure that Chiellini can clean up anything that sneaks by Piqué. That's why you saw me have Piqué on the left with Jordi Alba with a lot of pace, even though he has a high attacking work rate. And then I had Chiellini right next to him so he can clean up anything. He's got the pace. He's got a high defensive work rate. He'll sit back a little bit further with Piqué sometimes, and they'll play nicely together. So with your center backs, try to avoid, especially if you're having trouble defensively, do not pick players with a high attacking work rate as a center back. It'll really make defending that much harder. So I prefer you guys to avoid any center backs with a high attacking work rate. Now you can go with someone like I'll go with a couple of examples you can use. Skirtle, who is an amazing center back on Ultimate Team. Even his non-inform card is great. He's got low attacking, high defensive. Be sure to check him out. Koscielny is also great, the Arsenal center back, Frenchman. And there's plenty of others. Company is a good one. Lescott's got good work rate. There's a lot of people with good work rates. You guys can check these on foothead.com or footwiz.com. I'll leave the link in the description below and you guys can check them out. Now, in your left back and right back position, this is very important. So this is tricky to explain as well, and I'll try my best to explain it. For your left back, it really depends on the center back next to him. Here's what I usually do. If I pick a center back that's slow, I'll try to pick a left back. So if my left center back is slow, I'll try to pick a left center back that's fast. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So that if my left center back makes a wrong move or he's out of position, my left back can go ahead and use his pace to clean anything up. That's what I usually do. So I'm not so concerned about work rates on my left back if my center back is slow next to him. But if I do that, so let's say I go ahead and put Piqué and Jordi Alba. These are my examples. So imagine Piqué being here, Jordi Alba being here. Over to the right, I want to make sure that the right back does not have a high attacking work rate, because Jordi Alba has a high attacking work rate. I believe he's high attacking, medium defending. So he's not going to be the best person in position, but if he is in position, he can use his pace to get back. And if he's out of position, he can also get back in position with his pace. That's why I'm using him. But like I said, if I use a left back with a high attacking work rate, my right back, I'm going to have completely the opposite. I want him to sit back. So you kind of then have a 3 at the back formation, kind of, if you get what I'm saying. So if my left back pushes up, right? My left back pushes up. Now you got your right back to sit back for you, and you got your right back and your 2 center backs sitting back to defend you against a counter or whatever that may be. Instead of having, for example, let's say I have my left and right back on high attacking work rates. What happens? You get countered. You got your 2 center backs waiting for defending for you, and it's going to be sometimes 3-on-2, 4-on-2, 2-on-2, whatever it may be. You know, you got to be careful. With having the third player, your right back, the opposite of your left back, or vice versa. So keep this in mind. So if my right back has a high attacking, I'm going to go have my left back have high defensive. You always now have 3 defenders regardless of what's going on. So keep that in mind. Obviously, there is another option of having your whole back 4 having no high attacking work rate, which is the ideal thing to do. But if you want to use players out there like Jordi Alba, that's what I suggest you guys do. Try to do the opposite on the opposite side, so that your whole defense doesn't push up, obviously. So for example, my personal favorite back line has been this: Paolo Di Ceglie as my left back, Chiellini as my center back next to him, Koscielny here, and then Sagna right next to him. They all have the perfect work rates. They work so well together. I'm going to show you the exact team I've used after I explain everything, and you guys can see why I use them. At the CDM position, this is also an important position for checking the work rates on. Simply because you don't want to have anything with a high work rate. You don't want to have anybody with a high attacking, high defensive. They'll be out of position. They'll tire out real quickly. I don't know if you guys have noticed, sometimes while you're playing, you'll see the stamina bar just drop and drop if they have a high attacking work rate and a high defensive work rate. It happens sometimes. That's why I try to avoid it. My CDM, I really like, either medium high, so medium attacking, high defensive, or low high. I'll even settle for medium, just nothing with high. As long as they're sitting in position tightly right in the midfield to boss the midfield for us and play as a really strong holding defensive mid, that is awesome to see. So make sure you guys keep you got to just pick someone who's strong, someone who's pace isn't a big issue. Don't worry about pace, worry about the work rate. So Daniele Di Rossi is a great CDM to use. Yaya Toure, you can convert him to the CDM. He plays great. Cech Diotte also plays great. Javi Garcia also plays great. Lots of CDMs you can choose from. You can check FootWiz again, of course, or Foothead, and see all of their stats. Now, your left mid and right mid position in a 4-1-2-1-2. Work rates aren't as important, to be honest with you guys, for your left mid and right mid. You can go ahead and really choose anything. It really depends what you want. If you want more defensively minded left mid and right mids, that's up to you. I personally don't like that. My personal opinion is anything with medium is fine. High-low is even fine for me. So David Villa plays perfectly for me. Giovinco plays perfectly for me in the left mid position. If you want to go ahead and pick Pedro, the Spaniard from Barcelona, you can go ahead and do that. He has a high work rate, so he'll be pushing up and pushing back to defend for you guys. But with a 4-1-2-1-2, you already got a solid defense regardless. You don't really need to do that. Just keep in mind, if you look at this formation, it's actually more narrow than you think. It's not the 4-4-2 diamond wide like it is on head-to-head. It's just the 4-4-2 diamond. They just call it the 4-1-2-1-2 on Ultimate Team. Now, as I explain this, you guys can see that the right and left mid are a little bit tucked under the left back and right back. So you got to make sure that if you do pick someone with a defensive work rate, sometimes your left back is going to move up a little bit too far and he's going to be playing like a winger for you. So be careful. He's going to provide a little bit more width. So be careful with that and don't lose possession. So with your left mid and right mid, if you really want to use a high work rate, that's fine. That's up to you. If you want to have someone defend for you, that's completely fine. I personally prefer someone who's going to be helping me with the attack. So I go ahead and choose anybody that's not high. So as long as medium's fine, high-low, high-medium, whatever it may be, as long as it's not high, I'm good. That's my personal opinion. So at the cam position, honestly, the best thing I've seen work for me is the high-low. The high-low works perfectly. Also, when I say the first thing I say in my work rate, so when I say high-low, the first being high is going to be the attacking, the second's going to be the defensive. So if I say high-low, keep in mind that's high attacking, low defensive. So high-low works best for me. Nasri works perfect for me here. Medium is fine. Again, with all of your attack, so your two strikers and your cam, avoid high work rates. You guys have seen in my previous Staying in D1 episode, I've used Cavani as my right striker, and what do I do every game? I complain that he's never there. Why? I'll tell you why right now. So Cavani being a high work rate, what happens? He's going to go sit back as a midfielder. So he's going to come back here as almost as far back as a CDM. What happens? My right mid moves up, depending on my right mid's work rate. He moves up, ends up playing striker for me, and then what does Cavani do? He's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and shift over to right mid, or I'm going to shift over back here to camp. Like, he's always out of position because of that high work rate, and that's what makes him useless sometimes. Now, a lot of you guys are going to argue and say, Cavani's a beast. What are you talking about, bro? Like, you're crazy. Well, to me, not really, man. He's got incredible stats. He's an incredible striker in real life. Don't get me wrong. He plays well sometimes on Ultimate Team when he does have the right work rate, when he does have the ball in the right position. But to get it there to him, it sometimes is off for me. So that's why I don't like using him. So keep in mind for your strikers, avoid anyone with a high work rate. High-low is the best for all your attack. It's the opposite of defense, obviously. The opposite. If you do this, if you have the opposite work rates on your offense or your attack, it works perfect. High-low is the best. If you can't manage that, and if you want to use some of your favorite players and they don't have a high-low, you can even do medium-low. You can do medium-high, whatever it may be. As long as they have a high attacking work rate, you're good without the high defensive work rate. So that's really my take on it, guys. I'll go ahead and show you my team via FootWiz screenshot, my favorite team to go to, if you will. So if I'm in a competitive mood and I just want to win games, I'll show you guys the team I use in just a second here. We're going to go ahead and hop into that, and it's a FootWiz screenshot, and I'm going to go over everything as we look into it. So we've gone ahead and made this team on footwiz.com. You guys can see by the arrows there, if they're orange, that means it's medium. If it's green, that means it's high. And if it's red, that means it's low. And we're going to go over all of the work rates and why I've chose these players. Again, this is my go-to team if I'm competitive, if I want to just play to win, if you want to say that. And I'll go ahead and go over everything right now. Again, most of you guys have probably seen this team if you've seen me stream. This is a lot of times I use this team and people are asking, hey, can you post the team you use? And this is a squad. So let's start off with our first center backs. You guys see right there, they both have a high defensive work rate and only a medium attacking work rate. So their positioning is always good. It's never bad. Now, obviously, low highs is preferred, but sometimes you can't always get that, and this works perfectly. Now, Paulo De Chegli is going to have a medium, not bad at all. He doesn't push up, and he doesn't push too far back. So he's there to provide an extra pass, and he's also proper position at all times. So medium is also a great work rate to have on your left or right back. And moving on to the right back, you guys see there Sanya. He's got a high defensive. I talked about this. If my left back or right back, if one of them do not have a high defensive, I make sure that the opposite side does. So Sanya does have that high defensive work rate. In case Paulo De Chegli is out of position, we still have Chiellini, Koscielny, and Sanya waiting back for the counter. At the CDM position, again, if you guys look at the high defensive work rate on Daniele De Rossi, he's got the medium attacking, not a problem, but he's strong. Pace isn't a big issue. He's just perfect in the CDM position. Probably the best CDM, in my opinion, on Ultimate Team. Again, that's my opinion. You guys might not agree. And if you look at I'm going to skip over the left mid and right mid. I'll go back to them. But if you guys look at my three attackers, you got Mikoli, Balotelli, and Nasri. you guys will see, look at that red bar, that red arrow rather. You got a red arrow for all my attackers, meaning that they all have a low defensive work rate. So they'll be there for me whenever I need an outlet pass or on the counter. Works perfect. Great positioning. And then we'll move to our right mid, Ben Arfa. He also has that low defensive work rate because I prefer my whole attack to have low defensive work rate because I still have all of my 5. I've got Daniele Di Rossi and my 4 defenders waiting for anything that comes by to play defense for us. So we don't need extra defenders, in my opinion, or else the team will become too defensive. We move on to Giovinco. He's got a medium work rate. Nothing to complain about. He's good if you want to just feed him the ball and sprint down the wings. If you want to do some skilling with him, even if he's 3-star skills, you can do step overs, roulettes, all that good stuff. Fake shots. Still works out perfect. And he's got decent passing. So works perfect. But anyway, guys, this is my go-to team. Hopefully you guys have learned something about the 4-1-2-1-2 as well as the importance of work rates. If I was really confusing, I do apologize. Let me know what I can do different for the next formation video, and I'll do that better. I'll make it better. Now, I did talk a lot in this video. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys to death. It's more of an informational video rather than gameplay. I have plenty of other gameplays going on in other series, so run out of breath. So anyways, this cold is killing me, man. It's freezing in Chicago and my nostrils all congested, my chest is congested, so I'm running out of breath when I'm talking here. But in any case, with that said, please give me your feedback and what you guys want to see different for next time. I'll do my best to improve and make it better for you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily uploads. We will see you tomorrow with a new episode of Staying in D1, as well maybe some pack openings for the Team of the Year forwards. See you guys. Peace.